Okay, so looking at one up here, we're taking this information, just plugging it into the point slope form, which is right here, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So the slope m is going to get put right there. The negative 5 is the x1. It's going to get plugged in right there. And then the negative 4 is the y1. It gets plugged in right there. So what's this going to look like? Okay, good. I'm gonna write it this other way, but what you did is exactly right. Okay, so I'm gonna write y minus negative 4, equals 4 times x minus negative 5. Okay, good. So I was just leaving all the minuses in there like that. But again, when there's two minuses, what do we do with those two minuses? We change them into a positive. Okay, so I'm just going to do it like this. So it should look like that. Okay, so what does this one look like? Good. Okay, what does this one look like? Good. And then, what's this one look like? X plus 2. Good. Okay, so that's just taking this, when you have a slope of a line and a single point on that line and putting it into point slope. I mean, that's exactly what point slope is designed for. Okay, so we're going to be kind of doing several things with what we've done over the last few days, putting several things together. So the first thing I want to do on this page right here is we're going to go from, what form does this look like this is in right here? Yeah, this is in point slope form, just like what we just did on our just now. So what I want to do is I want to convert from point slope, what this is, into slope intercepts, okay? And what does slope intercept form look like? Y equals mx plus b, exactly. So I want to take it from the form that it's in now into y equals mx plus b. And if you'll notice in y equals mx plus b, one of the main things is the y is completely by itself, and then you have the coefficient on the x, and then whatever the constant out here is, the y-intercept. So, number one, let's convert this to slope-intercept. So I want to get the y by itself, but there's one thing I need to do first. What do you think we need to do first here? Exactly, distribute the 3. So what is 3 times x? 3x, and then the 3 times 2 is 6. So I have y minus 5 equals 3x plus 6. So I have one more thing I need to do. What do I need to do? Yeah, get rid of that negative 5 because I want the y by itself. And so that's exactly right. I need to just add 5 to both sides. Now, over here, there was a minus 5, so I added 5 because negative 5 plus 5 is 0. That's why I did that, and it just left the 5 over here. Now, over here, when I add the 5, okay, this is just a 5. It does not have x. I'm not adding this 5 to the 3x. I'm adding to what is its like term. Its like term is the 6, okay? So since this is just a number and this is just a number, these are the two that get put together. And so this equals 3x plus 11. Y equals 3x plus 11. Okay, number 2. What's the first thing I need to do? Distribute the negative 2. So negative 2 times x, negative 2x, and then negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6, and I still have y plus 7 over here. Okay? What do we need to do now? Subtract 7 on both sides, because over here 7 minus 7 is 0, so that just leaves y. Then we have negative 2x minus 1. Okay, number 3. So we're going to distribute this negative 1/2. So what's negative 1/2 times x? Negative 1/2 x. And then what's negative 1/2 times negative 8? Yeah, if you type that in your calculator, negative 1/2 times negative 8, it's going to give you a positive 4. And so we have y minus 4 equals negative 1/2 x plus 4, so we need to add 4 to both sides. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 8. Okay, I want you to try number 4 real quick. Okay. So what's 1/3 times x? 1/3 x, and what's 1/3 times 12? 4. So then we're just going to add 8 to both sides. Y equals 1/3 x plus 12. Okay, so that's one piece of what we're going to need today is converting from point slope to slope intercept, which that's just straight up algebra stuff right there. I mean, just solving. Okay. Next thing I want to do is, given 2 points here, okay, is I want to write the equation of a line with just given 2 points. So the first thing I want to do is find the slope of that line, okay? So first of all, I'm going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. So what's it going to look like when I put all those into the slope formula? How am I going to write this out? There you go. Negative 4 minus 4 over 9 minus negative 7, just to find the slope. What does that give you? Negative 1/2. Okay? So that right there is the slope. Now what I want to do is I want to write the equation of this line in point slope form. Now I have 2 points on the line up here. This line goes through negative 7, 4 and through 9, negative 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one of these points. It doesn't matter which one, which seems weird, but it does not matter. So I'm just going to choose the first one there. Okay? I'm going to choose negative 7, 4. So this is exactly like what we just did on our warm-up. Okay? I've got my slope here. I've got the point that I picked out on the line right there. So we're going to have y minus, what's the y1 value? It's 4 equals, what's the slope? Negative 1/2, and then x, exactly, x plus 7. Because this would be x minus a negative 7, so this becomes a plus 7. Okay. All right, let's do the same thing right here. So let's label this x1, y1, x2, y2. So let's find the slope first. So when I write this into the slope formula, what's it going to look like? 13 minus 5 over 8 minus 4. What does that give you? Just gives you 2. Okay, so that's the slope of the line right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out one of these points. Let's just use the second one this time. Again, since both of those points are on the line, it doesn't matter which one. And it seems like that wouldn't be possible, but it is. Okay, so again, now I'm writing this into the point slope. Okay, like this right up here. Y minus y1 equals n times x minus x1. So we're going to have y minus what? 13. I'm using this point this time. If you want to use that other one, that's fine. Y minus 13 equals 2 times x minus 8. Okay, let's try the same thing on this one real quick. So we have x1, y1, x2, y2. So what's that look like in the slope formula? Good. Which is what? It's 3/5. So that's the slope of the line. Now I'm going to pick out one of those points. I'll just choose this point right here, the first one this time. So using this slope and this point, what's it going to look like in point slope? Yep. Just a second. Your assignment is going to follow the same pattern as what your notes did. Okay. The first group of problems, you're going to be doing this. You're just going to be converting from point slope to slope intercept. That's what you do with the first group. The second group is going to be like this, where you just put the, well, it's even easier than this because it already gives you the slope on the second group. So you're just putting into point slope. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here, but this time we're going to convert it all the way to slope intercept, and we're going to graph it from that. Okay, so first thing is find the slope. So x1, y1, x2, y2. So in the slope formula, what's that going to look like? 3 minus 2 over 6 minus 3, which is what? 1/3. Okay, so that's the slope. I'm just going to use the first point again here. So use 3, 2 in the slope of 1/3. So to put that into point slope first is what I'm going to do. Okay, so what's it going to look like in point slope? Yep. Using that slope and that point right there. Now, this time I do want to convert it. Okay? So like what we did at the first part of these notes here. So the first thing I need to do is to distribute the 1/3. So what's 1/3 times x? 1/3 x. And then what is 1/3 times -3? Yep. Is -1. Now I have one more step. What do I need to do? Add 2 to both sides. So we get y equals 1/3 x. What's -1 plus 2? Plus 1. Now, I want to graph that thing. So it's like we did yesterday. Okay, 1/3 x plus 1. So what do I start off with on this equation? The 1. What does this 1 tell me? Y-intercept. What is a y-intercept? Yeah, the y-axis is the one that goes up and down, but what is the y-intercept? Yeah, where it crosses that y-axis. Okay, so it crosses at +1, which is right here. Okay. So that's the first thing. This 1 is that point right there. Now the slope of 1/3, okay, from right here, the slope is 1/3. What is the slope of 1/3 going to do? Good, it's going to go up 1, right 3. So we're going to go up 1, and then right 1, 2, 3. Okay. There's that equation right there. Okay, next one, number 2. All right, so x1, y1, x2, y2. So in the slope formula, it's going to be -1 minus -5 over -2 minus -4. Which is 2. Okay, slope is 2. This time I'll choose the second one, okay? So I'm going to use the second point, and I'm going to use that slope. So plugging this into point slope first, what's it going to look like? Okay, good. Y plus 1 equals 2 times x plus 2. Yeah, I should have used that 4, 5, but that's good. All right, so we're going to distribute the 2. It's going to give us 2x and 4. So what do we need to do now? Subtract 1. So y equals 2x plus 3. Now I want to graph that same equation, or this equation on the same graph right here. So where does this one cross the y-axis? At 3. So it's going to cross right here at 3. Now this one has a slope of 2. And we talked about this yesterday. When it's a slope of just 2, what do we do with that? Yeah, we put a 1 underneath it. So the slope of 2 really is 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So from this point, I'm going to go up 1, 2, and then go over 1. Up 2, go over 1. Up 2, go over 1. So there's several points on that line. And it should look like that. Okay, number 3. So we have x1, y1, x2, y2. So it's going to be -2 minus 9 over 4 minus 4. What does that give you? It says undefined, and the reason for it is what is 4 minus 4? 0. Remember, you cannot divide by 0. 0 times anything is going to give you 0. So unless the numerator, unless the top is 0, that's the only way to get that, but in that case, it's not going to be anything anyways. Okay, so let's plot those 2 points just to see why it is what it is. Okay, so let's plot 4, 9, and 4, -2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 9 is right here, and 4, -2 is right here. Remember, when a line is completely vertical like this, the slope is undefined. Okay? So on this one, the equation of this line is x equals 4. That's what the equation of that line is. Okay, on number 4, we have x1, y1, x2, y2. So this is 3 minus 3 over 4 minus -1, which is what? This one has a slope of 0. Okay, so let's graph that and see why. So -1, 3 is right here, and then 4, 3 is right here. So it's actually that line right there. which when the line is horizontal like that, the equation is always going to be y equals. So on this one, it's y equals 3 is the equation. Okay, on this one also, I mean, if you were to like use this, it would be y minus 3 equals 0 times x minus 4. If you distribute this 0, 0 times x is 0, and 0 times negative 4 is 0. So you just get y minus 3 equals 0. Add 3 to both sides, and that's why it's y equals 3. Okay, on your and on the back, you'll be doing this same stuff right here. You'll be given 2 points. You'll find the slope, put it in a point slope, and then convert to slope intercept. So.